Hi, Dr. Anders. This is my oral presentation, and this is my audience. And I'm going to present to them now. So thank you everyone for being here. I am Gabrielle Stevenson, and this is my oral presentation for my action research project titled Decreasing Student Apathy. Okay. So my research question is, we know apathy exists in the high school setting. What effect does socioeconomic status have on student apathy? I have two other factors that I am working with, and that is what motivates students to perform well in school, and what factors do teachers feel contribute to student apathy? Some literature that I found to be very helpful is this book titled A Framework for Understanding Poverty. This author actually came and presented at our school, since I work in a school that deals with a lot of students from low socioeconomic status families. Every chapter of this book provides great information on working with students who come from poverty, and a great quote that I found in this book is, "But to honor students as human beings worthy of respect and care is to establish a relationship that will provide for enhanced learning." This author, her basis is that students who come from low-income families will succeed if they build trusting and lasting relationships with their teachers and administrators at their school. I used many other sources, including a study done by Sanders and Tickton in 2013, which focused on boredom and motivation issues, and it stated that 60% of students surveyed reported they were motivated half of the time or less that they were at school. Only 2% of students reported they were motivated all the time. So this study shows that apathy is a root for many other problems at school, such as attendance issues, truancies, and discipline issues. I did my research at Central Valley High School, which is located in Shasta Lake, California. We have a student body of about 650 students, and at our last count at the beginning of the school year, 68% of those students were on the free and reduced lunch program. To collect my data, I passed out surveys to students from various classes. I passed out surveys to teachers, and I passed out surveys to parents. I felt that incorporating everybody would make my results more reliable. All of the surveys were anonymous. Students, parents, and teachers were asked to not put their names or any other identifying information on them. And students were notified that their participation or lack of participation wouldn't affect their grade or anything. To analyze the data, I collected all of them and I counted the different questions, whether it be yes or no, and then I made tallies of the long answer questions that I had, such as asking students what motivates them to do well in school and asking teachers what they feel motivates students. Okay, so the results. The results, after reading each survey, it was determined that socioeconomic status does contribute to student apathy. The results from the student surveys, it's a little bit hard to see, I'm sorry. It shows that 85% of the students who answered that they felt apathetic towards school were on free and reduced lunch. And students were also asked what motivated them to do well in school, and almost all stated that money or other rewards would motivate them. So none of them are motivated just by doing well or just by getting good grades. I had one student that actually wrote out that the thought of the future and the future rewards he would gain for doing well in school is not enough to motivate him or her to do well. So that's kind of sad. The results from the parent surveys were a little more surprising. They showed that 31% of the parents felt that their students were apathetic in school, and 23% of the parents that answered the surveys were on free and reduced lunch. So that shows that the majority of the surveys that came back were not from parents, from a low-income household, so less of them felt that their students were apathetic in school. They noted that they felt that their students were motivated by the money that they give them for A's and B's. So the results from the teacher surveys, 80% of our teachers felt that apathy was an issue in our school. 81% felt that socioeconomic status contributed to apathy. 19.1% felt that it did not, and one answered that they did not know. Teachers stated that they felt the biggest things that contributed to apathy are lack of parental involvement, students' lack of interest in their future, and students and teachers not having positive relationships. So we can conclude that socioeconomic status is a contributor to student apathy. Students are driven by rewards. Teachers feel that parents can help combat student apathy. Positive relationships with teachers and staff can help students combat apathy. And apathy is a root factor for many other issues such as attendance, truancies, and discipline. Some implications for counselors that they can get from this information. They can build strong, trusting relationships with their students. They can hold their students accountable, communicate with families on expectations, display and model caring attitudes, teach students to be advocates for themselves and their future, and help students set attainable goals and come up with ways to get to those goals. Some implications for further research. I would like to do research on parental education level and see how that affects students and how and their motivation, and research parental involvement and how students are motivated at home. So thank you very much for being part of this. And that's it.